Moving on from the cultural vibrancy of the 19th century in Bengal to the early 20th century, we find that this was a period which saw a search for a new visual language that would deny the tyranny of Western academic realism and would result in evolving a style that would bear the authenticity of Indianness. This was also the time when the Neo Bengal movement or a Bengal art movement came into being, pioneered by a radical theorist, poet, and a visionary, Abanindranath Tagore. Abanindranath Tagore emerged on the modern Indian art scene at the turn of the century, as a perfect foil to Ravi Verma. Why was he considered a perfect foil? Ravi Verma, however, lost his popularity in the beginning decades of the 20th century. His art was not considered to be a nationalist art, and it was not considered a nationalist art for a reason. He had made use of oil medium rather, and had used academic realism, though he did paint themes that were derived from Sanskrit literature and poetry, epics, and mythologies, gave us the image of an Indian woman draped in a sari and laden with jewelry. But his images of the Indian feminine forms were considered to be very sensuous. Abanindranath Tagore was in a quest for an artistic medium that would be very much personal. And it is this quest for a search for an artistic idiom was the very foundation of his modernity. Uh, he was a scion of the Tagore family, nephew of Rabindranath Tagore, born at the palatial manor of Jorshamko, where he grew up. His early education in art was at home, tutored by English and Italian teachers. When we scrutinize his sketchbooks, we find that there is an array of themes he has represented or rather painted. These consisted of still life, landscapes, anatomy studies, classical antique sculptures, as well as portraits in pastels. He returned to pastels later on in his career. A study of all these forms shows the brilliance by which he mastered the academic realism. But at the same time, he was not too happy. There was discontent and frustration within him that he wanted a style which would be autonomous and a non-Western style. In this respect of his search, he came across two important miniatures. One was an Irish illuminated manuscript